Hey guys, this is Jam of Jam19.ph, and today we're gonna unbox and take a closer look at this mid-range smartphone from Vivo, the Vivo V21 5G. So as you can see in here, the smartphone does have a very familiar box. The one that we got comes in 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of internal storage. But of course, we're gonna talk about the smartphone later on. Pero as you can see in here, we got here a really nice box. Got here some textures and everything. So, time to unbox this one. Oh, look at that. Ang ganda ng design ng Vivo V21 5G. Actually, Vivo never fails to amaze me pagdating sa kanilang design sa mga mid-range and premium smartphones sila lately. Of course, the smartphone comes with a jelly case inside, manuals, and of course, the pin dito sa smartphone na to for the card tray. We got here the 33 watts na charger dito sa smartphone na to. So this is the Vivo Flash Charge 2.0, and I believe 33 watts is already fast enough for me. We also got here the USB-C to USB-A cable along with the earphones. And since wala tayong headphone jack on the smartphone, we got here the dongle included inside the box. Now we know what's inside the box. Now let's talk about the smartphone, the Vivo V21 5G. Alright guys, so you're looking at the Vivo V21 5G. As you can see in here, we got here the 6.44-inch Full HD Plus AMOLED display. Kaya kung mapapansin nyo, ang ganda ng colors pa lang dito pa lang sa home screen ng smartphone natin. But here's the thing, despite being a 2021 smartphone, we still got here the notch at the top. It's not a punch hole camera, it's a teardrop na parang style ng display natin dito sa smartphone na to. But this is no ordinary display because the Vivo V21 5G comes with a 90Hz refresh rate. So as you can see in here, when we go to settings, we go to display, we can see in here that the smartphone does come with a 60Hz or 90Hz refresh rate. But also, you can do a smart switch. So according dito, most appropriate screen refresh rate can be selected automatically, similar to the adaptive screen refresh rate sa ibang smartphones. Basically, if hindi naman niya kailangan ng fast refresh rate, magbababa siya ng refresh rate para makatipid kayo ng battery dito sa smartphone na to, para mas mahaba yung inyong battery dito. Alright, speaking of battery, the smartphone does come with a Dimensity 800U processor inside. This one is quite unique as we got here an 8 gigs of RAM, remember? 8 gigs of RAM, right? But you can extend it by 3 gigs. So meron silang tinatawag na 3 gigs extended RAM sa smartphone na to. But actually, 8 gigs is already fine for me. I mean, even other flagship smartphones has an 8 gigs of RAM. So no problems with that one. As for the storage, we got here 128 gigs of internal storage. And as you can see in here, I've already installed a lot of games and applications, including Apex Legends, Call of Duty, Mobile Legends, PUBG Mobile, and even Wild Rift. But before we get down dun sa ating software, let's talk about the hardware of the smartphone first. You can see in here, yes, we got here the display. We've talked about that earlier. But we got here at the back a really nice glass back. It's a flat glass back. May 2.5D glass tayo dito. But the reflection is really nice. I believe the camera can't do the justice alone dito. But it does look really good and really premium to me. Similar to their Vivo X60 series smartphones that we have previously unboxed. That is a really cool smartphone, by the way. And as for the camera, as you can see in here, hindi siya ganun kakapal. Unlike most smartphones these days, a lot of smartphones are going to the route na, okay, makapal yung camera natin, we have a good quality naman sa camera. This one, maganda naman yung quality. I'm gonna show you some of the shots later on. But the protruding camera isn't that big. And yes, rectangular style siya and malinis naman siya tignan. So yeah, no problems naman pagdating din doon sa smartphone na to. Okay, below we got here the USB-C port along with the speaker grill. No headphone jack on this one. Katabi ng USB-C port, again, the speaker grill and also yung ating card tray, if you can see that clearly. Ayan, so on the right, we got here the power button and also the volume rocker. Since this is a mid-range smartphone price at $23,999, the smartphone does come with a fingerprint scanner on the display. And, hindi na siya sa side. I'm already fine with that one, but sometimes I prefer the side fingerprint scanner kasi nga power button and also yung ating fingerprint scanner nasa isa na lang. Mas mabilis most of the time compared to the in-display fingerprint scanners. And mas prefer ko actually, again, the side fingerprint kasi every time nasanay na ako na pindutin yung power button, mas madali na ako mag-unlock with that one. Alright, so you've seen everything. You've seen the hardware. You've seen everything that needs to be seen dito pagdating sa hardware. It's a really premium design pagdating dito sa smartphone na to. And everything was quite good. Now, let's talk about the software of the smartphone. So inside the smartphone is a FunTouch OS 11 based on Android 11. Actually, pwede ko pakita sa inyo. You can go to settings, gusto about phone. You can see in here, Fun Touch OS. We got here the 8 gigs plus 3 gigs of RAM, again, that I mentioned earlier. We also got here 128 gigs of phone storage, the Android 11, and of course the 2.4 gigahertz octa-core processor, which is basically the MediaTek Dimensity 800U. Alright, so you've seen that one. You've seen that's the latest Fun Touch OS and everything. Now, let's talk about the software of the smartphone. The Fun Touch OS is a really nice OS. It's smooth. It's actually really responsive, and the 90 Hz refresh rate, talagang nakakatulong to na mapamukha yung smartphone na okay, ang ganda ng response ng smartphone na to, mabilis, smooth, and powerful yung smartphone natin. I'm actually pretty happy with the 90 Hz refresh rate of the smartphone. Again, AMOLED display, better colors, and easy sa mata natin yung colors ng Fun Touch OS. That's what I really like about Vivo. Actually, they've improved Fun Touch OS over the years, and I actually like the improvement dito sa Fun Touch OS 11.1. Ayan, you can see in here, it's fast, it's smooth. We got the app drawer. We got here the different applications that comes with the smartphone. We got the focus on assistant. Meron kagad tayong Google Assistant on the home screen. We got Teams, everything, Vivo Smartphone, Vivo Cloud, Easy Share. Actually, like Easy Share, if you got friends or family na may Easy Share, mas madali ka makapag-transfer ng files and everything. Alright, we got Game Center. Ayan, so everything is here naman dito sa smartphone na to. So it's nice to have these applications. Of course, some of them are not that useful compared sa ibang applications na kasama dito sa smartphone na to. So, you already know most of, actually everything about the smartphone except for the camera. Now, let's go to the camera. Camera is one of the best things about Vivo smartphones. They're pretty good. They're really awesome. And this one doesn't fail to amaze me din naman. It's actually not the best one, but it's still quite good smartphone pagdating sa camera. Okay, again, let's talk about the camera. First, we got here the 64 megapixel main camera. We got here an 8 megapixel wide camera and a 2 megapixel front camera. Here's the interesting part. We got here a 44 megapixel selfie camera on the smartphone. So they really got a focus talaga sa selfie smartphone. Dito sa V series talagang focus sila pagdating sa selfie. I applaud Vivo for that one. Consistent sila sa branding nila with the V series smartphones. Of course, we got here the night mode, we got here the portrait mode, the photo mode, the video mode, and more. So as you can see in here, we got here the different modes for the video mode. And as for the video, meron tayong steady mode, ultra stable. Ayan, nakikita nyo naman. We got here the dual video mode, which is basically yung features na nakikita natin sa ibang mga flagship smartphones. We can use the front camera and also the rear camera of the smartphone at the same time. So that's a really cool feature, especially sa mga vloggers. And of course, pwede rin naman natin gamitin yung ating lens dito. Ayan, super wide angle, bokeh, and super macro. Unfortunately, tatlo lang yung lens natin. There's no telephoto lens, but if they're gonna include lang din naman a depth camera or portrait camera, I believe triple lens camera is already fine with me. I mean, the shots that we got on this one is quite good. But before we get down to that, let's talk about first yung video. So, makita nyo kanina may steady, but we can shoot up to 4K on the smartphone with 60 frames per second. Up to 4K at 30 frames per second. So, nandun lang naman tayo. But, I believe 1080p is more than enough for some people. Minsan nga, dito naman sa Pilipinas, ang consumption natin ng video, mostly up to 1080p. Yung mga nag-4K, madalas hindi sa mobile, mga nasa bahay yan, naka-home internet. Mas mataas kasi yung data consumption, of course, pag naka-4K. So, you can also change the codec if you wanted to. Less space, H265, but I prefer 264. And again, 1080p for me at 60 frames per second. But yeah, we can also do raw pictures on this one, surprisingly. So makita nyo pro features, 16 megapixel RAW plus JPEG. In pro mode, photos can be taken in both RAW and JPEG format. So it's nice to see that we can take raw photos on the Vivo V21 5G. Now, you might be curious, kamusta naman yung mga shots na kuha natin dito sa Vivo V21 5G? Now, let's show some of the shots that we took using the Vivo V21 5G. As for the shots that we got on the Vivo V21 5G, actually, the selfie camera is really good. I already expected that since we got a 44 megapixel camera, and expected na yun sa Vivo V series smartphones ni Vivo. And of course, the 64 megapixel main camera does perform pretty well. The details are good. It's not the best one, but for mid-range smartphone, does fare pretty well. Pero pagdating sa ultra-wide, makikita mo yung difference. Bukod sa may parang pagka-fisheye, yung look natin, of course, that's an ultra-wide lens. Hindi ganun ka-detailed yung mga ultra-wide shots natin dito. Medyo malayo yung difference natin sa camera pagdating sa wide versus sa main camera of the smartphone. But again, the selfie camera is something to look forward dito sa Vivo V21 5G. And lastly, the smartphone wouldn't be called Vivo V21 5G without 5G. And in my experience dito sa usage ko, wala tayong 5G dito ngayon sa pwesto natin. But the 5G of this one is quite fine. I can already reach, I believe, 100 to 200 Mbps, so that's fine with me. But of course, mas malaking data consumption. But it's nice to see that we got here 5G sa smartphone na to. So I guess that's it dito sa unboxing, quick review natin ng Vivo V21 5G. So if you like this video, don't forget to give us thumbs up. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and be sure to click that subscribe button along with that bell button to get notified of our latest videos here sa aking YouTube channel. So once again, I'm Jam9.ph. Thank you for watching and see you guys again sa susunod na video.